Age grade football in Nigeria has been a successive one. If you check the results so far in the past history of this country, we've been able to achieve a lot when it comes to Golden Eaglets, Falconets, well, not forgetting Flying Eagles, and also looking at the fact that all these teams have really done well, even including Flamingos. Well, they've really done well when it comes to age grade football in Nigeria. Even the Super Falcons have been fantastic. But we'll be looking at age grade football. How do we sustain it in this country? Because that's where we need to get the bulk of our players from. Not going to Europe every time. We can get them here. At least as they grow from one age to the other, we can continue to sustain them. Welcoming you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Aji-Shafe. Well, we'll be looking at some stories this evening as we talk with Chinedu Ohanusi. Good to have you this evening.
Thank you, Adeni.
Good one.
Nice to be here.
You're welcome, sir. Now let's look at the story I just looked at there. The focus right now is sustaining age grade football in Nigeria. Like I mentioned earlier, Golden Eaglets recently, they've done well. They were able to win the Waffle B under-17 in Cape Coast, Ghana, defeating the Young Etalons of Burkina Faso. Just recently, not too far away, the Flying Eagles also did well by winning the under-20 championship. Well, good one there. Consuming what the Falconets and also the Flamingos have done so far, qualifying for World Cup in India and also Costa Rica, putting aside the fact that they've really done well. But we look at how do we sustain it? A lot of issues here and there that you see all these teams after achieving much. The next thing you see that you don't find 2 or 3 of them still in that team by the time they move to another grade of age. We're looking at that right now. Good to have you once again. So let's look at this particular topic.
One man that's so respecting developmental football is Adeboye Onibide in Nigeria. People like Fanny Amu. But globally, the standard is Arsene Wenger. Now, Arsene Wenger had a quote last week or last 2 weeks. He said, Kylian Mbappe is not originally from France. He's from Africa. But if Kylian Mbappe was born in Cameroon or in Nigeria, he would have not developed to the kind of player he is now. And that's a fact. Okay, bringing this Professor Wenger's opinion home, let me say, most of what we see in our football today, why we have its chaotic nature of age grade football in Nigeria is because we don't have real academies. Where like someone like Jack Wilshere or Owen, or even you hear what they call it, the Saka in Arsenal.
Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, Bukayo Saka. They say they got to the academy when they were 8, when they were 9. You are taught the basic rudiments. You are taught how to, do this thing, the theory, then how to transmit them, and you will not be in position. That was why we had a lot of argument between Ikpeba and Osimhen about how the best technique and approach to
score goals.
To score such goals. So when you pass through academies, it is a gradual build-up, and you have everything. And that is why the European strikers look as if they are better than our strikers. But when you come playing football from the street or from the mechanic workshop or after helping your parents in a store or some farm, then the kind of the IQ that also follows the ball, the way, because football is something that is put in angles and in a circle or spherical order. So you have to check how the pressure you put, how you hit the ball, how you cuff the ball, how you bend the ball, how you nasa the ball, everything has to be technical. So if we don't get that through the academies, there is a problem. There are a lot of academies in Nigeria. What do we do with them? They are poorly regulated by the NFF. The NFF do not encourage them. The NFF is supposed to have annual budget for all these academies through the state FAs. Once you affiliate with those state FAs, something should come to you. They should have the benefit of NFF bringing coaches here to also up the ante of our academies. Now, CAF is doing it on behalf of, let me say CAF is doing it, and with the partnership with the NFF, we are now having CAF licensed ABC coaches. So all those things are tailored to help. When I used to officiate in my days, we used to have Pepsi Academy players come to do cutting razors, before the match, if the match is 4 o'clock, but they will start by 3. After that, they are the people that will still be the ball boys, So these are the places where we now start pushing out gradually the techniques, tactics, and every other thing, skills to players. That is why we have Phil Foden, the former ball boy today, in Manchester City and England, doing so well. So I want to believe that the NFF can do more by having budgets, annual budget for state FAs, and the best academies should have a little bit more of money, to help them, because this become the very raw materials that we generate. We sieve them, we nurture them. So you see that this player, some of these 8, 9, 10 players, year old, they will tell you we started at so academy together until, oh no, Chelsea asked me to go, or Arsenal asked me to go, or then you go to another academy. Somehow you are reunited at the very top, because some players are late developers, some develop very early, but there are standards, and once those standards are met, the French people, let me give you a country like France, that have most or half of their players as blacks, mostly from West Africa, Francophone West Africa. It's a simple issue. And they can't have you and allow you to go, because they've seen you, they've seen the quality at that level of exposure. They will keep you. Then those that didn't do so well, if they try them at all, they will now leave them. They can now come back and naturalize and say, oh, they want to play for my country of origin. That is, But those other ones, they give them everything. They give their parents everything. In fact, Mbappe will have a call from the President Macron to tell him, don't leave Real Madrid, PSG to Real Madrid, that this is your project. When
that kind of respect.
When the president calls you, so it means, what I'm trying to say all along is that the developmental program does not have to be issue of results alone. Oh, we did very well. Oh, we did. No, it has to also marry the issue of making sure we graduate them classes and see those classes perform. There is no way you have a team that should win a World Cup at under 17 level, and we don't have 5 of them 4 years later, 5 years later in the senior national team. If that happens, it's an aberration. It means something was wrong at the under 17 level.
Now, if you look at our league, our teams, it's very difficult that you see 5 from under 17 moving to under 20. 20, 23, or Super Eagles, that you see complete 5 from the old team is very, very hard. And that's why we're looking at that particular, we're focusing on sustaining that age grade football, because if they move from 17, out of the 23 players or 25 players, you are able to keep like 5. You at least promote them to 20. And they still move from that same 20 to another grade. That shows that they will understand themselves better and they will have more results for Nigeria. Yeah,
they're not necessarily, we're not going to throw away the older players because of their graduating. But the good thing is that when they are graduating, they are coming with some stuff. And it is left for us to see whether, Bukayo Saka is developing very well for Arsenal. If we bring Rafinha, they play on the same wing. Will Rafinha hinge or stop his development? No, let them go and compete. And if we find out that this player is better than Truls Ekong, though he's younger, the coach will take a decision and say, okay, Truls Ekong, stay on the bench and let's start with him. And if we have complicated issues, you come on. So we want competition at that very top. And the competition will be by the coach also having the ability, to select, invite his players, play his players according to merit. For footballing reasons, not just for, I like him, or I don't like his color, I don't like his face, or I don't like his attitude.
For performance.
Just come and put up some trouble. Let it be performance. Because at the long run, the end loser will be the Nigerian fans. All of our national teams belong to us. We don't have any other country. Some of these coaches, sometimes they can be funny, and that is why many of us in Nigeria root for foreign coaches, because they are, the sentiments in them is a little bit less, and they know that if they don't do well, the media will come down hard on them. And so for me, I want to believe that we can continue to marry results and nurture players. There is no need for us to be world champions of under 17 and under 20 every year, and those players, we don't see them in Europe, we don't see them go abroad to make it, we don't see them make it to the Super Eagles or the Olympics team, and all of a sudden they fade out. There are many of them today. When we ask where are they, you say,
you'll be wondering
what happened. So I'm happy somebody like Awoniyi is coming back to England. Perhaps it's an opportunity. If you know how that guy terrorized guys at the
Union Berlin.
No, in the World Cup under 17.
Okay, under 17, I recall. Awoniyi was very, very
so
fast.
As a 24 or 25-year-old now, he should be able to do much more.
Okay, now,
Forest.
At least let's see what this particular topic we're looking at, sustaining age grade football in Nigeria. We have to develop it, and we are looking at those chances. Now, let's talk about another issue that has to do with the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF election, and that issue has been a big one so far concerning September. Well, that month is really coming close, and we're looking at election, will it hold or not? Well, before this, an injunction was actually ordered, and now it has been, according to news reaching us, that has been suspended. So that particular ex parte injunction from Bayelsa State High Court has been suspended by the Congress members, and for that, Congress will hold an election will actually come up in September. But from the NFF body language, the executive committee, the body language is not really speaking, maybe there will be election or not. We are looking at that particular topic, NFF election. What's happening?
I must say it's a good one. But even the letter asking NFF to make sure they hold this letter was unnecessary. The letter from the presidency. So let me say it's a necessary evil. Pinnick have served this country, Amaju Pinnick, as NFF chairman. I think there is nothing else he has in the bag now for this country and our football. The fact that we're not going to Qatar is a blow, if not to him, to me. And if not to me, the rest of everybody in Nigeria. We know how many millions that FIFA will have been sending to us now. Perhaps the coach that we sacked, we will from there settle him. But now Nigeria will have to cough that money out from somewhere. I understand the deadline given for that one has passed. So, but coming to the issue of this election, these actors in our football, they have a way of manipulating things. The court injunction in Bayelsa was probably their own arrangement to make sure that they remain in office till around February or March of next year. What for? Pinnick should have taken the honor of saying, look, we're not going to the World Cup. The AFCON is in July. I am even bringing these elections closer. Let us have it before September.
And leave this place.
He said he was not going to contest, that this job is not. But from his body language, he wants a third term. You cannot blow cold and blow hot at the same time. Who are the people losing? The players, the league that is not working well. NFF knows about it. There's a Supreme Court ruling as I speak today in February that said the LMC is illegal. If a Supreme Court will say the LMC is illegal because the Nigerian Premier League that was in existence was not dissolved before the LMC was formed by Alhaji Aminu Megeri and consolidated upon by Amaju Pinnick, we should respect that ruling and take the league back to the owners. You cannot, football cannot belong to officials. That was why the issue of the Super European League was shut down. Football belonged to the masses. This is our own thing. created by the poor should not be stolen by the rich. You know, so for Amaju Pinnick, since he's insisting that he has to finish his 4-year tenure, he owes Nigeria one thing, a very good process for an election. If he decides to run, he's qualified to run.
Yes, according to what he said.
But if he's to be a man of his own words, he shouldn't force himself on us. And let Patrice Motsepe face CAF and South African football.
He shouldn't be the one talking for us.
He should not be the one telling us about why Amaju Pinnick is very important. If it's that important, how are we missing out of many things under him? We missed out of AFCON back-to-back under him. We got to this AFCON in Cameroon. We got to Egypt where we are supposed to challenge for a title. He told the General that, no, don't worry, third place will be good enough for us. When we had a squad that can win the AFCON in Cameroon, in Egypt. Now we got to Cameroon, and the same squad that we had was mismanaged. You sack a coach 2 weeks to a major competition, only for Austin Eguavoen by himself to tell him the sacking of Roa was ill-timed. You know, I mean, I think I understand Pinnick is a water engineer. He should face something else. You know, he has done well for Nigerian football. I'm not his fan. I think when I was officiating, he was then the team manager of NPA of Warri. And
Nigerian Port Authority.
Yes, so later he became Delta FA boss and general manager of Delta State Sports Council. He has a lot of knowledge, you know, in there in this in sports management. But for the way he has led our national teams, we are only lucky that perhaps the players were hungrier than, or the coaches have something to prove this time. People like Ndoko Bade and Ilerika for the under-17, yes, and somebody like Lamboso that failed before and was brought back. If not so, how do you arrange Flying Eagles to go and play a major competition like this within a month? How do you even screen for the players? So I must say things worked for us. We're not looking at the planlessness of the NFF. And now that they say they want to do elections, who are the people raising up their hands that they want to come and manage our football? We have to be very, very, very sure that we're not doing like what CAF did. Oh, Issa Hayatou, you must go. You are too old. You have been here for too long. And as soon as he left, you brought in a worse person. And when Ahmad was removed, you brought in another person that have continued to create confusion in the way CAF runs. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, they now announced again that the CAF Champions League is going to be played on one-legged basis. Then after, you know, so you go back and front. And I did say, we saw a lot of changes when Baba was there, Hayatou. But each of those changes didn't cause any major rift in football. They were systemic, well-researched, and football is not rocket science. I say it's a thing that does not belong to the rich. So the poor always have a way of fixing it. Even when there is no ball, we find a way of tying the rag to make sure that it goes. It's a ball. So people should not come to speak plenty English for us on football. Football should be made accessible to all of us and for all of us, and let us take it back from these people. Like I did say, the next or the incoming NFF chairman has to be better than Amaju Pinnick.
Well, if that doesn't come back.
Well, then
since he can contest.
He can contest.
Yes.
He is free to contest, yeah. But you know, he should be a man of his words. You cannot probate and reprobate by yourself. You know, he did say it's a thankless job. Even for his family, as members have told him that he has done enough. I don't see what else he has.
That is
up there to like I did say. I must also say there are some decisions that he has taken that we didn't buy. But those decisions, like particularly the one of bringing in Jose Pizarro, you know, I'm starting to have some affection for that particular decision because it's like the guy wants to, you know, conquer our football, occupy our football, transform our football within this very short time. I'm so pleased. That's exactly what we want. We didn't want a coach that will be alienated from our football. We want somebody that will buy in, like Westerhoff, sit here in Nigeria and eat ogbono soup.
Know our culture,
know our culture, because football is married to the people, and the people, there should be synergy.
There will be synergy concerning a coach and the team that is coaching. Well, that's it. We've been talking about the NFF election where Amaju Pinnick body language seems like it will be coming back. But, well, we're waiting to see. September is really fast approaching. We're going to look what's going to happen concerning that. Well, it's a lot of issues concerning Nigerian sport. It's also that things will be done well, because who suffers more? The players, the athletes, who actually are the golden chicken that lays the golden egg. They are the one that suffer most, as the two elephants or wherever are fighting concerning football, basketball, any sport so far. Now, let's quickly look at some transfer stories trending. Our time is moving. We have a Nigerian striker. He plays for Rivers United. His name is Ishak Rafiu. Ishak Rafiu right now as we speak is interesting because the bid have been coming from Olimpia Ljubljana from Slovenia for this gangling striker who plays for Rivers United. And now, at least a lot of people are looking at, aside the fact that the club is also coming, other clubs are coming from other countries. Olimpia Ljubljana coming from Rivers United forward, Rafiu Ishak.
A good one, I must say. But we knew that there was a time that our players could move from the local league to one of the big 5 leagues in the world.
Yes. Not to Slovenia, Albania,
or Malta. But half bread is better than bones. So if we're not able to go to those places, at least let's get somewhere. Even North Africa, that could be another leeway. I remember Keshi didn't go straight to Anderlecht. He first went to Cote d'Ivoire. The same thing with Rashidi Yekini. No, Keshi actually opened the door for Rashidi Yekini to also come over. So we want to believe that our players can get more. Like you did say, there is no need waiting for one Eze or one who knows the name, to come and play for Nigeria just because Nigerian is good. And we want to send as many players as possible out there.
Let them see.
Let them play there. Let them get exposed. Let them come back to play for us. Let them, when they are coming, let them bring a lot of money, develop their communities, plug back to society, run academies here. And, who told you we cannot see? There was a time I was telling somebody, said the money used in building the Abuja National Stadium will have been used to build something else. And I told him the 4 R's, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, and Ronaldinho, their worth in football, 4 of them and their insurance, is more than the amount we use in building that stadium. He said, what do I mean? So I gave him the details, and he said, wow. So just exporting 2, 3 talents, 4 talents a year, you know what it gives us? That's why we've been losing in basketball, because Kida, as a man, does not see that there are opportunities. He wants to be president without being held responsible for why domestic basketball isn't being played.
Not working.
It is your duty. Though people went to court against you, you felt you won the election. It is your duty to negotiate and make sure that, like Pinnick was able to do, there were many litigations against him, just like Megeri too. But they made sure that football continued to progress. You cannot close down
everything under because of litigation.
Elite players, where they don't earn anything anymore, the coaches, they don't earn anything anymore, they are now forced to go and look for something else to do, and you think they will be happy with you. Then you apologize to the president, and they say, oh, you can go back, your sins have been forgiven. Have you apologized to those players? Have you apologized to those coaches?
Even the Tigress, did you actually reach out to them?
So what are the, so as far as we know, the sports policy we have in Nigeria is very, very faulty. And everything that we've been talking about since this morning till this evening is hinged on that same sports policy. As long as we don't have a functional sports policy that pronounces how federations must be run, how government can come in and how government should not come in, and dictate how we should reward our athletes, even up to Olympic level. When I bring my child, I train him like Serena Williams. The father trained 2 of them, and they'll be able to go to the Olympics. They won a gold and a silver. you know that this amount is going to be paid to your account or their account
For the job you've
not
done.
minding whether he's a Kanuri, Fulani, Igbo, Yoruba, whether he's black, whether people like he's ugly or not. No, presidential handshake is not needed in this issue. How the president feels about it does not matter. How this minister feels about it does not matter. Whether you host a team for just ordinarily qualifying for the proper because you are under 17 champions in WAFU B, not even the whole of WAFU. They are immaterial. The issue is the reward system has to be there. And when we get all these things well captivated and the former sports commission returns, then Nigeria is in business. You cannot have a multi-million naira business, a dollar business called sports, and you'll be running it as a recreation. It's a failure of a country. Let me put it this way. How much does the British government spend in sports? Very little. All these federations there, they know that once they identify elite programs and there's the lottery, then there are these other sponsors that come in and everything moves so smooth. Why is it that we cannot learn? In the 70s, by 70s, Jamaica were not a superpower that they were in athletics. But today, wow! As soon as Usain Bolt was leaving,
they've already
other ones were coming.
Yes.
And look, if they cannot dominate the guy, the men's, the
women will do it.
The women will do it. And if not so, so as far as I know, we should be a little bit careful. Like I did say, I've also had the minister make some quotes that are very defective. I don't know who advises him. You don't go hammering on certain names for forever. Some of